Well, hey there, it's me, Kai, and I am going to be sharing with you today the correct way to do an ab curl, which is extremely important because ab curls, if done incorrectly, actually don't strengthen our core. They can lead to all sorts of postural dysfunctions. They can kind of exacerbate a lot of the common postural deviations that we see these days, and they can also create injury or lead to discomfort and pain in particularly the neck and lower back. So ab curls are definitely something that are really great. We use them a lot in the Pilates repertoire, but if we don't do them correctly, we're not getting the benefits and potentially setting ourselves up for some injury. Okay. So the first things to know that we are going to use a couple props in today's tutorial. So you can use a hand towel. We'll be using just a regular old hand towel for part of this, and then or you could use a magic circle if you have a magic circle. So you might want to get those handy. And then the first thing we're going to do with our towel, we're going to use our towel in two different ways. One is going to be giving support to our pelvis, and one's going to be giving support to our neck. So you're going to take your towel and you're going to roll it up. Okay, so kind of lengthwise, just making the roll kind of curve like that. And then we're going to use this as our lumbar support, a supported neutral position. And if you're not sure about what neutral spine is or about how to use the lumbar roll, then please check out my other video, which was how to how to find neutral in a supine position lying on your back, and I go over how to use this because it's a really handy tool for a lot of folks. Okay, so for the ab curls, you're basically going to lie on your back, and we're going to place our lumbar roll that we just created right underneath our kind of the curve of our lower back to give us a little bit of support there. So you may find that you don't really want to use the roll, and that's okay, but I do encourage everybody to try it just to see what it feels like. And for me, this roll's probably a little too thick, so I could unroll a part of it and just have part of the towel underneath my spine rolled up and the other part flat. And that's going to help me be in kind of a more comfortable position. But for just getting started, you're going to find this neutral position. So that means that our ASIS and our pubic bone are going to be in one plane. They're going to be in one line. So we're neither going to be rocked towards imprint, nor are we going to be rocked towards the pubic bone. Okay. So in this supported neutral position, you're going to take a nice breath in, and then you're going to exhale. Deepen those abdominals. Good. Now you can choose to either keep the supported neutral or you could take the supported neutral away, and you're going to be in neutral without it if you choose. And I encourage you to try and see what feels better for your body. And now we're going to get to isolate our core abdominal muscles. So you're going to breathe in, let the belly expand, and then exhale. Draw those abdominals towards the midline, deepening, almost like you're tightening a corset, pulling it towards center, keeping the pelvis still. You're going to breathe in and exhale, really accentuating the exhale so that you can really feel that connection deepening through. Good. Now we're going to do one more breath in and exhale. Good. And then you're also going to be thinking about that little connection up from the pelvic floor, maintaining the space and the support through your back. Good. And we're going to breathe two more times. Inhale and exhale. And one more time. Breathe in and exhale. Good. Perfect. So now that we've isolated our core abdominals in neutral spine, we're going to actually go over what imprinted spine is, because we often use imprinted spine in an ab curl and in all of the abdominal work in our Pilates that we do. So from here, you're basically going to do a little pelvic clocking. So on the exhale, you're going to think about pulling your abdominals, pulling the pubic bone up the front of the body by deepening the abdominals. And then on the inhale, your tailbone is going to lengthen out towards the ground. Good. And then exhale, you can even think of the tailbone extending out towards the feet and then curling up towards your nose. Good. And then inhale, opening and unfurling the tailbone. Nice. What I want you to really do is as you're flattening, as you're shifting into imprint and flattening that lower back into the mat, I want you to have a real sense of it coming from very deep, that you're not just allowing your legs to kind of lead the way. And exhale, because I could do this and I could just use my legs and my glutes and I wouldn't get the same feeling through the front of the torso and the front body. Good. So now one more time, feeling that tail reaching long and then curling up towards your nose. And now we've got this nice flattened lower back position. Beautiful. And you're going to maintain that, good, in imprint. Now, once again, if you're not supposed to be in flexion or if imprinting isn't feeling right for your body, then you can either choose imprint or the supported neutral for the rest of what we're going to do. Okay. So now what we're going to do is get to know, because now we've got our pelvis set, right? So we're going to stay in neutral or imprint. I'm currently in imprint, or supported neutral. So those are the three positions. But if you're unsupported neutral, make sure that you have been practicing Pilates for a while. Like, you need to have core stability and lumbopelvic stability before you're doing ab curls in an unsupported neutral position for most folks. Okay. So then you're going to think about where our head is going to be through our ab curl. And so what we're going to do is a couple of chin glides here. So you're going to take your chin and actually lengthen your chin, pressing your chin back so that it's going to press into the mat. It's almost like you're trying to give yourself a double chin and you're lengthening, almost, I like to use the cue that you're opening eyes in the back of your head. And then you're going to release and the chin will return, maybe even come forward a little bit. And then exhale. You're going to connect to the chin back and open those eyes in the back of your head. Okay. And we're going to do one more. This is called a chin glide. Good. And you can do this upright in all sorts of different places. There's a whole video on chin glides, and I encourage you to check that out. Good. And rest. Chin glides are really good for alleviating a lot of the kind of aches and pains and forward head tendencies that we get from all the time we spend on our devices like phones and tablets and things like that. Okay, so now we know how to engage our abdominals. We are in an imprinted or supported neutral position. You're going to keep your pelvis steady. Your chin is gently gliding, and now we're going to do something called Ribcage Arms, because this is where your abdominal curls are going to come from originally. So take your arms up towards the ceiling, and I want you to feel just a little bit like you're spreading your ribs into the mat, okay? So you're just gonna press those ribs nice and wide. Now, maintaining the ribs there, go ahead and float those arms overhead, only as far as you can go without letting the ribs really pop up off the ground. And then you're gonna bring those arms back up. And now just for contrast, go ahead and take the arms over and just notice how the front of the ribs really expand and the back of the ribs almost come off the mat just a little bit, okay? And everybody will be different there. It depends on shoulder mobility, part of that. So now think about connecting these front ribs gently down like they're walking towards your hips as you float the arms over. And then inhale, go ahead and bring the arms back up. And exhale. Good. So hopefully what you're becoming aware of is how there is some muscular connection right here through the top of the rib cage that's kind of countering the pull of the arms. So you're not allowing those ribs to pop up off the mat. What you're using are your abdominals, actually. You have abdominals that come up on the outside of your rib cage. And so those muscles are connecting your ribs down towards your pubic bone. And if you haven't guessed, that is where your abdominal curl is going to start from. When we start to curl through the ribs, it's those abdominal fibers are going to pull our ribs towards our pelvis. Okay, so now the last thing to think of, why did we do the chin glide? So the chin glide is basically what you're going to be doing with your neck and head as you do your abdominal curl. So there is a lot going on in an ab curl. And here you're going to go ahead and grab Well, first I'm going to show you with the hands. So you're going to take your hands and you're going to make what I call an occipital basket. So I've got my thumbs pointing down and my fingertips are grasping together. And I'm basically going to place that right at the base of my skull. So my index fingers, my pointer fingers are right in line with the base of the skull, and then my thumbs are pointing down my neck. Now notice I don't have my elbows all the way wide. That would basically take my ribs into a little bit of extension, which is not what you're doing in an ab curl. So you're going to connect the back of the rib cage and let your elbows come forward. So for most of us, you'll be able to see your elbows in your peripheral vision. Okay, so then we're going to breathe in. Do a little chin glide to prepare. So press the back of the skull into the hands and then deepen those abdominals, tighten the corset, and feel those ribs just sliding towards your pelvis. Good. And then inhale, float back down, breathe in. And exhale, chin glide, abdominal connection, pelvis steady, ribs slide up. And inhale, float back down. Good. And exhale, chin glide, deepening those abdominals, belly button to spine, curling up, steady pelvis, and then inhale, float back down. Good. So that is your basic ab curl. So you're connecting the core, your pelvis is staying steady, the ribs are gliding down, and you're doing a little chin glide through your neck. It's a lot to think of, and so the way I just said it to you, where you do chin glide, abdominals, breathe out, curl up, you kind of just run through all of the checkpoints as you're doing your ab curl. Now there is one little modification I want to show you. So basically you're going to unroll your towel and you're going to place it back down on the mat. And then you're going to be laying on it, so make sure it's nice and flat. There we go. Good. And then you want to make sure that the base of the towel is kind of lining up with the base of your ribs so that it stays nice and secure. And then the top of the towel is going to be up kind of above your neck. Okay, so because for some folks, this is going to be a much better position for the shoulders and the neck than having the hands clasped behind the head. So let's go ahead and imprint our pelvis, deepening those abdominals. Breathe in, do a little chin glide, scoop, and then curl up, giving your head a little bit of support as you curl, and then inhale, float back down. And exhale, deepening those abdominals, curling up, and then inhale, float back down. Good. Breathe in, exhale, chin glide, abdominals scooping, ribs sliding down, and then inhale, lower back down. So we want to make sure, I'm going to show you what this would look like in when your head is not connected. Okay, so you would curl up and then you'd start to press forward with your chin, right? Can you see what my chin's doing here? So that's a sign that I've lost my chin glide, and that's going to be a pretty unhappy place to be for your neck when you're in an ab curl. Okay, so one more. Breath in, exhale, chin glide, abdominal connection, keep the pelvis steady, ribs slide down, and then inhale, lower back down. Great. And if you have a magic circle, you can actually do that with a magic circle as well. You just place the padding right at the base of the skull, and then you take your arms here. Now the thing with this that can get really, you have to make sure that as you're curling up, you're not basically pulling on your neck, but instead you're connecting back, and that's actually going to be strengthening the back of your neck and your neck flexors, your occipital muscles and your neck flexors. So that can be a really nice way, if you have a magic circle, to do that as well. So you can play with what feels best for you. Okay, so as you move along and are going through all of our Pilates repertoire, I want you to keep remembering your ab curl basics. So you're always going to be thinking about your neck position, your back position, and that you are deepening those abdominals, okay? And if you remember basically those three things, then you know that whether you're doing hundreds or single leg stretch or any of the other ab curl based exercises we're going to be doing, if you're remembering your head position, your back position and your abdominal curls, you will be totally fine, and you'll be really confident that you are working your abdominals in a way that's going to be strengthening your core and doing all sorts of wonderful things for your whole body. Okay, and I always cue those 3 things, but so you don't really have to worry too much, because now you're going to understand what I'm talking about when we're cueing those things in any ab curl exercise. Okay, so if you have any questions, please comment below and I will get back to you. And I hope that you are having a wonderful, blissful day. Take care. Bye.